Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, with winning screenwriter Nan Schmidt, The Language of the Wolves is the screenplay's title. Really interesting script about somebody who's in the military, and then some. There's
She's
a
a war reporter.
okay, sorry, she's a reporter in the military. She leaves because of a horrific accident, and then you figure that conflict is over, but of course it's a movie, and then there's another conflict that has to do with wolves. Is that a good teaser or a good pitch to the script?
Yes, I think it is. It is in my writing of it for the subtext of everything. It's like, so Joey is this war reporter, and because she texts in her file and it goes over the allotted time, the battalion she's with gets bombed. And this kid that she took underneath her wing, who's 18 years old, named Kentucky, gets killed. And she is devastated by this. And other soldiers are hurt too. But this was like the little brother she never had, because they connected because they were both foster kids. So after his death, she inherits his dog, which he talked about all the time. And one of my favorite lines in the script is she's like, why, you are totally messed up. Why would you want to be responsible for anything that's alive? Because they were both abandoned. And then he said, can I swear
Yeah, go
in
ahead.
this?
Of course. Yeah, yeah,
He says, well, why would another foster kid not want to have an anchor in this fucked up world?
yeah.
And she just can't understand that. Then she inherits his dog, and then she gets fired from work because her boss was on the phone and heard the entire tragedy happen. And she knows she's messed up because of this. And so she takes the dog, she's going to give it away. She's going to take it to her cabin in Maine. And on the way, they witness the murder of a mother wolf. And then, unbeknownst to Joey, off to the side of the road are her pups, and the dog, Birdie, puts him in her car. And
Yeah.
then that's when like the adventure really begins.
And
So it's a continuation of the nurturing instinct that she hates that she has
yeah.
because she's a foster kid. She nurtured Kentucky, and now she's going to nurture the dog, and then she's going to nurture the pups. But they're the ones that teach her about what love really is.
And then there's this underlying kind of thematic about capitalism and the dark
Yeah.
sides of America in a sense.
Yeah, because she gets to the town in Maine,
Yeah.
and this guy is going to put up a hunting resort. But the town doesn't know that what he's doing is bringing in, exotic animals and old, circus animals like tigers and baboons and elephants, which is a real thing. In Texas, you can kill a baboon for $1,500. You can kill a big horned sheep for 2,000,
Yeah.
or a tiger like for 2,500. It's I don't know how it's legal, and it's very interesting because I looked at people who did this. Listened to their interviews, and they're like, we love animals.
Yeah,
We
the hunter's rationalization of loving animals always confused me as well, but
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 they think
yeah,
that,
yeah.
and it's real to them.
They're helping the land by controlling the population and yeah, okay.
But these are old
No, I know.
animals, range, and they're and uh I think it's hard for anyone to see those videos of those big game hunters with, you know, a a dead giraffe's huge
Yeah.
neck, wrapped around their
Some of them
neck.
went viral last couple of years, right? And
Yes,
they got
exactly.
ostracized, yeah, for
Yeah, I
going
saw
to
her in an interview, and
yeah.
um, she said, look if you look at the giraffe skin, it's old. And that's why I made a gun case out of his skin. So he goes with me on every hunt. And my friends love the pillows I made.
Yeah.
Well, cotton pillows are probably more comfortable than giraffe
Yeah.
skin. But anyway, so yes, so it goes into that, and then it also goes into what our values are. Like what are our values? Like why? And also the history of wolves, which is absolutely stunning. I actually went to a wolf sanctuary and got to howl with wolves in the night. And the guy who ran it was Native American. And he told me that he said, when humans really started to thrive was after they watched how a wolf pack raised their pups. because, baby infants are so fragile. He said they didn't know how to do it.
Mhm.
So native tribes started raising, have the whole tribe raise the babies.
Yeah.
And that's what a wolf pack does. And that's why they are so revered in Native American culture, which is also a part of the script.
The script, yeah. Well, it's also about land, right? Because
Yes.
the tribe owns the land as well, and then of course the white guy's trying to get the land from them, which is I guess it's happened before in history
Oh,
with
yeah.
yeah
The history of the entire United
yeah
States.
or yeah the United States and Canada in general, but yeah, okay,
Yes. And yes, and we do go to Canada.
yeah,
Um, but and this is a real thing. So just recently, a lot of native tribes have been getting their land back. But even though there are treaties that are still real and they should be obligated, they are not.
yeah,
So Native American tribes have to buy the land back that was stolen from them, but then the American government will not allow them to actually own the land. They have to put it in a trust. And the government runs that trust. It's a
Mhm.
very Britney Spears, Free Britney kind of situation.
Oh, it's a good way. It's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah, like they're yeah
Like she makes all the money, she did
money,
all
but
that
then
stuff.
yeah,
And then she had no control over her own life, her own land, her
yeah,
career. But she had to pay for everything and do everything and work really hard. And these people, this is their land that
yeah,
we murdered them for. But there were treaties in place, and it's the Indian Removal Act of 1830, and that was Andrew Jackson who killed, that's the Trail of Tears. That's just
yeah.
he 25,000 people in one day or something. It's just crazy.
Yeah,
So
that's what I mean. It goes back in the history, the really kind of negative history of this land. It's like, to be fair, it happened everywhere. You're right, around the world where
yeah,
land was stolen from natives and etc. Right? So it's not
right.
just
And that's
America who did it, but it's everywhere.
it is everywhere.
Yeah,
But that's why I took like I wanted to have like little pups, like little kids, like these innocent little babies.
yeah,
And now they're motherless but the father's still alive and the father does he watches. Joey takes or the dog actually takes the pups, but he is outside that cabin and he is watching them and he follows them because he wants his children back.
yeah,
And the correlation of the innocent pups and everything in their lives being destroyed just for being born, what they were or who they are. And to me, it's very reminiscent of and this is where the war reporting comes in, all wars. Because we go into these countries and we devastate them. I mean, you know, there's a lot of tension around Gaza and Israel, right? And what's happening there. But these children are starved to death right now.
yeah.
These innocent individuals who should have nothing to do with the war are being killed
Mhm.
in in mass. And it's not fair what the children of Israel are going through because now there's so much anti-Semitism and hatred toward them, and they had nothing to do with the attack on them and then the response.
Yeah,
It's this thing that the majority of us in this world, because we are people without a lot of power, or if any, are all caught up in that conflict,
yeah.
uh, not having the power to just live our lives.
Exactly. There's a lot of nuance. You just mentioned that word and et cetera. So we don't have to get into the specifics. There's a lot of nuance to it. But what we know for certain is that a lot of innocent lives are being killed, right? So
Yes,
it's
exactly.
children, yeah. So and they have nothing to do with anything, right? They're just caught in the
Yeah,
wrong place at the wrong time.
exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what? For all that being said, it's actually also Joey's really funny, and I wanted to make her funny, and uh, that's her mechanism.
Yeah.
When the situation gets really bad, she makes it funny, but in a very, I feel, or at least I tried to do this, very poignant way.
Yeah. Which I
More
find
sarcasm.
well, I find the most interesting thing about the script is that you started in Afghanistan, so she's in the middle of a battle, in the middle of a war, and then she goes to the States to rest. and but then now she's then she's in another battle, right? Like it's just like
She
it's just
is.
it doesn't end, right? So
Well, her whole life's been a battle.
yeah.
I mean, being raised in foster care and being thrown from one home to another, and like everything's a battle. And that has made her who she is and has toughened her. And it took a dog and two wolf pups to break that wall down. Because it's the first time she's known unconditional love,
Mhm.
in that form. Now she does have a love interest, so which is, Captain Morris, Tay Morris. Um, but it's hard for her, as much as she loves him, to connect with him. Like until she discovers through the animals what unconditional love means.
Mhm.
And then she can give herself freely and wholly to him in a relationship that is, healthy.
So I love the origin story about what motivated in the blog interview, what motivated you to write the screenplay. You have a dog yourself,
I
and
do.
you kind of use the stat where like the Americans spend 106, that's crazy, 136 billion.
$136 billion a year
Yeah.
on animals. And that is not including vet bills, which are astronomical.
Oh,
It's
it doesn't
really
include that. Okay.
no.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I put in is like when they brought wolves back, and the wolves they've been trying to kill them to the point of absolute extinction since the beginning of time. And this is another thing that the guy who ran the wolf sanctuary told me. He said, what people don't understand is that wolves don't want to be around people, even though our dogs came from them, because a few did. And then that made us have domestic dogs. But he said they're always in the background. They kind of slink around and they don't really want to join in. They watch and they're really kind of timid.
Yeah.
And he said, so people just don't trust them. It's like, like when you're in a group of people and everyone's talking, but the one person is standing there and it's like, are you going to
Yeah.
join in?
It's the perception. It's interesting that you call that
Yes.
because, well, first of all, if I was an animal, I wouldn't want to be around humans. Why would I want to be around humans? They
Especially the
destroyed
ones
our
trying to
planet,
kill you.
right? So yeah, either they want to kill us or they've done harm to our planet, right? So forget those humans, right?
Right.
Got this
Oh, but
artificial
why
light
I
being
wrote it.
around us, right? So
So
it's
it,
like,
it was
yeah,
because of that, but I read this article about in Wisconsin was like 200 wolves were killed in 60 hours.
yeah.
And in Montana, 236 were killed in 2 days, just murdered. And honestly, I was like, I don't understand this. We love our dogs so much. We spend all this money on. Uh, I, I can't tell you like how many friends I've met through my dog, at the dog park. And I've become lifelong friends with them and, known their partners and their kids and, just she has given me a world that if I didn't have her, I wouldn't have known. And what they can do, there are guide dogs for the blind. There are service dogs for people. Like what they do for us is so astronomical. And I think we take it for granted. And
Mhm.
so I just was like, I don't understand how we can treat our dogs so well and then hate their ancestors.
Because that's what humans do. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But sorry, I don't mean to be blunt, but it's just like that's yeah, that's what.
You're 100%
Yeah.
right. That's how I feel too.
It's usually capitalistically motivated. It's something to do with money, right? So, like in your script,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is when they brought the wolves back, and I think it was 1996, back into Yellowstone, and they took them from Canada and they brought them back. Yellowstone's its entire ecosystem improved.
Yeah.
And I think it's 78 or 80% of people in the world want to see a wolf in the wild. And so you can go to Yellowstone now and do that. And it isn't their economy now, not even buying tickets to go, but the surrounding town, I don't know if Yellowstone, uh, $30 million annually. So why kill them when you could, if you want to be a capitalist, make a lot of money off them?
Yeah. No,
But
it's
it's stupid.
yeah. No, and your script has a lot of heart, but also there's a lot of themes and kind of ideals about it as well. So, and I think you said it in the blog interview that it has a kick-ass female character as well, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah, because Joey's tough. She's really tough. And she wants to also honor Kentucky,
not
the
the
kid that
state, but the
killed,
person. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, the kid that was killed.
yeah,
Um, because she believes that if these wolves would have come under his care, he would do everything he could to get them to freedom and
yeah,
back to their pack. And so that's what she does to honor him. So again, it's about what we can do to make a better world
yeah,
and good versus evil. And as simple as, I mean, it's not that simple, but it kind of is. It's,
yeah.
like what we're seeing everywhere in this world right now, especially in America. Like, I'm, I can't believe that women have less rights now than they did in the 70s.
I know, I know.
I mean, that's
And they're
insane.
defunding programs and right.
They're
So,
kidnapping people off the streets.
yeah,
And talk about, uh, the Middle East, that's what
yeah.
they do. So there's a lot of things to it, but at the heart of it is I wanted to have these animals that we love. I mean, uh, who doesn't love a puppy? Maybe that's just just put puppies in the rooms with world leaders and we'll solve every problem.
Yeah, maybe like well then again, Trump is the first president not to have a dog in the White House.
Oh, he hates dogs.
Yeah.
He hates dogs, and he
So,
will
but then again,
refer
Hitler
to
liked dogs as
as a
well
dog.
too, right? So
What was that?
I say Hitler liked dogs too, right? So it's not just a black and white thing, right? But
Correct.
yeah.
But
But it is interesting that he's the first president in forever not to have a dog, right? Not to have a pet dog.
yeah, he's never had one in his life.
Yeah.
I'm sure, if he had had a dog as a kid, he probably would have killed it because that's what, that's the beginning of a serial killer.
Yeah.
Not that he's a serial killer,
Yeah.
but
Well,
metaphorically.
yeah. As we're doing this podcast,
But you can cut that part out.
yeah, interesting stuff is happening, I guess, right?
Yeah.
We're doing this on July 24th, 2025. So who knows what the next couple of weeks will hold, but then again,
Yeah.
he does get away with everything, right? So so
Well, let's hope that there is a thing called karma.
yeah. Well, yeah, I don't yeah. He's the poster child for there is no karma if there ever was one, right? So
It's true. And maybe it takes more than one lifetime, but at some point,
that's a rationalization. I don't like that because it's like we don't know that for sure, right? So
we don't know that for sure. But I have, for another screenplay, I did study a lot about karma,
gotcha.
and uh, sometimes it doesn't always take place in this
I
lifetime.
believe it. It's in my. I believe it. It's in not to go on a segue. This is a quick segue. I believe it's in the individual. If the individual believes in karma, then it happens to them, and that's their moral compass.
Oh, I
So
love
he
that.
doesn't believe in it, so then therefore he has power over himself, right? Because we're all animals, right? So
Right. I think that's, yeah, you're 100% right on that.
yeah,
Yeah, because gets away with a lot.
yeah,
And the majority of us don't.
yeah, exactly. I think that's why. So,
Yeah.
all right. So you wrote this. You've been working on the screenplay for 6 years. You've written plays. You've written short films. You've acted in. So you're pretty proficient. You're a busy person in terms of
I
creativity.
actually just 2 days ago finished my second draft of my book of the
Oh,
language of
okay.
wolves.
There you go. Yeah.
And also I've written a total of 6 screenplays multiple times because you got it rewriting, writing is rewriting.
Yeah.
And one script I was really excited about was a true story. It was called, and I was calling it The Last Witch Trial, and it's of this woman. She was Scottish, and Helen, oh, I can't, Duncan was her name, and she was tried as a witch in 1945 at the Old Bailey in London in the middle of World War II, and it was a bigger story than World War II. And Churchill was really pissed because he's like, "Why is this person getting all these headlines. And it's a completely true story. And as I was just finishing it, a friend wrote me and said that Studio Canal is making the movie.
Oh, okay.
I know the market.
Yeah. So you just so but you just so basically it's like the age old story where you're writing an idea, someone else is writing an idea somewhere else, and then you got to get there
Yeah.
first, I guess.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's why I mean, I always worked hard.
Yeah.
Um, and I started my career in Chicago at Second City.
Oh, wow.
So, it is a great place to be from. Um, it's a hard place to be, but it's a great place to be from, because once you're out of there in the competition, everybody loves everybody.
Yeah.
Like we're all hoping that I know Stephen Colbert will land completely on his feet. And I knew him
He'll
back
do
then.
better because he'll have his own, he could just have a website and in a YouTube channel, and there you go. That's the world that we live in now.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that's everybody, right? He can
Yeah.
have a podcast.
There you go. No, what I'm saying is that he'll be fine.
Yeah, I worry about the 200 other people that work for him, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the costumers and the people who work behind the
No,
sets and the
yeah, it's
lighting,
true. Yeah.
you know. But I bet because I do know him a little bit. I haven't talked to him in years, but he's just a really good guy.
So you were with them at Second City.
Yeah, we improvised together
Okay.
there.
Yeah. Because somebody did a documentary. We just showed a documentary about the history of Second City,
Oh, really?
a couple months ago. Yeah, and yeah, Odenkirk was in it. Yeah, so he interviewed in, and so yeah.
Right. Odenkirk was weird because he only came there, he only worked there like one summer.
Okay.
And it was weird. I think he was writing on Saturday Night Live and he wanted to act or, just be in Second
How did that
City.
career go? I guess it went pretty well. Yeah.
I don't have never heard anything about it since.
Yeah. Good for him. It's conviction, right? He had conviction. That's what he wanted to do, right? So,
Yeah, and
yeah.
he did it and he did well at it and he just kept going forward. So,
Yeah.
and there's a lot to be said too, though, for like sometimes you're just at the right place at the right time and you get
Yeah.
the lotto ticket comes up,
No, it's
you know.
true. And then the right people he worked with, then people have instincts, they know certain people to work with, right? So I think he had
Yeah.
that as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I would like to see that. So, but
Okay.
anything else?
So yeah, one last thing. So before we leave you, we always ask people what film they watched the most times in their life in the blog interview. Do you remember what you said?
I did. I said It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah.
And my father was just astounded. I mean, and I think I must have been I mean, I wasn't around when it first came out,
No.
but I started watching it, of course, in reruns during Christmas time. And I think also one of the things that I loved about it is when it came out, it was a flop.
Yeah.
People didn't like it. And so, and then you give it to the world. And in this case, people globbed onto it and they loved it. They loved it. And so I guess it's that thing of hope. Like, you can get said to, be told no a million times. And any of us who are in this business, you are told no. Oh, it takes one yes after 1,000 no's. And so that also was intriguing to me. And the story and the depth of it, even though, it was, quote, a family film, but everything, I guess, was a family film back then. But it had a lot of depth, a lot more than just oh, just like the surface stuff. But also, I should have put down Blazing Saddles.
Okay.
Anything by Mel Brooks. Anything by Mel Brooks, I would watch a million times over. Young Frankenstein, High Anxiety, all
Baseball.
of those. What?
Baseballs.
Oh, that they're having a new one come out.
Are they? Yeah.
Yes. And my friend who's a stage manager on Broadway, his girlfriend is really good because she's a stage manager also. And I think she did Book of Mormon. So she became really good friends with Josh Gad,
Yeah.
who, and so
It was the lead in Book of Mormon. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Well, he and
Frozen.
Mel,
He also was the Olaf in Frozen, right? Yeah.
yes, but
Yeah.
he and Mel Brooks wrote that script together.
Oh,
And
Spaceballs.
yes, and he would call Mackenzie all the time and go, "I can't believe I'm working with Mel Brooks." And I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh my God." And that Mel Brooks is still working. What is he, 99?
So he's gonna. They're gonna. Josh Gad wrote. So they're making an like kind of a revamp of it.
They're making Spaceballs too.
Oh, okay. Like okay.
So
God and Gad. Josh Gad is in it. I'm assuming
I'm assuming he's in it.
he's
I
gonna
know
write
he
his
wrote
role
it
for
with Mel
himself.
Brooks.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Well, that should be interesting. I know they did the remake of Naked Gun that's coming out, so
oh right.
I like
I
to
don't think
see.
you can replace Leslie Nielsen
I know,
though.
but I haven't seen the movie, so basically,
I
but
haven't either.
I think it's a great choice for Liam Neeson to do it. So
It's
yeah,
interesting about, also like this goes back to where is the market now?
yeah,
And I will say this, like the producers that I have spoken to about this, and I was a finalist in the Austin Film Festival last year, the year before, and I met all these producers, and they loved it and loved it and loved it, and then they were, but like the thought of the wolf pups in it and a dog
yeah.
like scares them, so which is too bad because if we're going to spend $136 billion on our dogs annually, I'm pretty sure those people would spend, $18 or whatever it is now. I live in New York, so it's
Yeah.
ridiculously expensive to go to a movie, but on a ticket.
Yeah.
So
No, there's something there. There's a. I think what it is that it's like it's got that bridge of that it could be a family film, but it's also very mature with its context and its tone. So it's got a PG-14 vibe to it, and
yeah.
so then it doesn't know where it goes, right? But it's obviously very well written. It's like it's one of the better scripts I've read this year, and it's great
Thank
for
you.
spec, and you can tell that you know what you're doing. But then, yeah, so I'm putting on that hat of the, okay, so say I own this movie, how am I going to sell it? So then I'm going to go, okay, so where am I putting this film? Right. So that's the
Well,
question.
in the cast, I've got Sam, who's a 12-year-old kid, and his grandmothers. He has two lesbian grandmothers,
Yeah.
and his father and wife are getting a divorce, and he again caught in a battle.
Yeah.
So, and I think that at one point someone said to me, I think that when Joey like says to him, the world is not there for you. You got to make it on your own, kid.
Yeah.
Don't wait for somebody to do it, and you don't get a trophy every time. And people are like, that's so mean. I'm like, no, it's not, because it's true. And I think that's such a good lesson for kids.
No, I think it's a, you brought up just to finish, wrap it up, put it all into a bow. You brought up It's a Wonderful Life, which is a very dark movie if you really think about it. The guy's committing
Yeah,
suicide. He gets all
right.
his money stolen. The town is going under. The corrupt man is winning, right? The corrupt corporation, corrupt boss wins. But
Absolutely.
it's a family film because it's tied up in the Christmas theme, right? So maybe I'm saying this half jokingly, but maybe wrap it up in a Christmas theme, and then there you go. You got a family movie.
Or I should just compare it to that.
Yeah, no. I think people are very insecure about what kids can handle, right? And I think kids can
Exactly.
handle this script. I think they can.
You know what? God knows what they're looking at on the internet, on
Yeah,
their phone. Their kids are not innocent. I was not an innocent kid. I was the youngest of five. You know, I think my brothers and sisters gave me a beer when I was six.
yeah. No, but it's about the maturity of the complex emotions. I think the kids are getting smarter and they can understand complex emotions.
And plus, like when I was growing up, we didn't really have a lot of supervision.
Yeah,
I had zero because I was in this pack of five kids, or I was out in the neighborhood,
yeah,
and I never had a time to come home except for dinner. But, like everybody heard a bell and then you would just scatter.
yeah.
But I'd gone all day long, and my mother had no idea where I was, and she didn't worry about it
Mhm.
because I think she knew all of her children well enough to know they weren't completely stupid. They're not going to get in a car when somebody goes, "Do you want some candy?"
Yeah, yeah,
And that whole thing also has always been way overblown about the amount of kids that get kidnapped in this
sure.
country with
Yeah.
that. It's just, and once that started happening, that's when people started being a helicopter parent, which she's saying you don't need that. That's not what's going to make you a good person, Sam. What's going to make you a good person is you.
Yeah,
You're the only one who can do it.
exactly. But there's money to be made with helicopter parents. That's a billion-dollar industry in itself. So someone
Oh,
who is
is
a
it really?
parent, yeah. Oh,
Oh, I
there's
don't have kids. I just have a dog.
there's everything they can be busy every day, right? There's art camp, and then there's soccer camp, and then there's robotics, and there's like everybody can be busy, right? So there's so much to do. So
But where is the, the moments that you get that you just like lie on some grass and look at the sky and
yeah,
just let your mind wander and have an imagination?
yeah, that's what you need to do. So okay, on
Yep.
that note, I wish you the best of luck with the script. I think it's fantastic,
Oh, thank you so much. This
and
was really fun.
let's talk again soon.
I can't wait. I have another script that I'm working on. I can send you what
Send it.
I'm
All right, cool.